Derek Griffith at Berlin Raceway tonight, filling in the Doorn 71 car for Carson Hocevar, who got hurt over the weekend. So, how did this come together for you?
We were in Jennerstown and with Carson's crash at Gateway, and this car is fully prepared, ready to go, and they were concerned about him not being able to make it after that. So they contacted me while I was at the racetrack with them, and they said, "Hey, what are you doing on Tuesday and Wednesday next week? You want to be in Berlin, Michigan?" I said, "I sure do." So from there, it just fell into place. Of course, obviously thinking of Carson, hopefully he's okay, but yeah, I don't have much information on that, but hopefully he's all right. He'll be in that car soon.
I do miss my tall brother here.
He is sure tall. The seat difference is quite a bit.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh, yeah. So how does that feel to you after getting in your car to this car? Because yours is not Van Doorn.
Nope. The difference between the cars and the teams are drastic, but they're not affecting me in a negative way by any means. Butch, Zach, Johnny, all of them have been really great to me. The car is fantastic. I can't ask for a better race car right now. So we're in good shape for tomorrow. I think we got a really good piece. So as long as we keep the thing all together, and that's all it'll take.
All right. Do you have plans for tomorrow, like strategy in place, or kind of just? I mean, you've got a good mentor there in the Van Doorn, so.
Of course, yeah. There's not really necessarily a strategy other than just to maintain a good pace that's not hurting the race car, and then also try to move forward most of the race. The track position for this race specifically, I think is going to be pretty important. I mean, you have all the heavy hitters here; they're going to want to go. So, if you lose a lap early, I think that's going to be the end of your race. So we got to try to start up front and finish up front.
So I should have asked actually too. You're feeling fine. You're walking around good after a little incident last week, and that was a brand new car also.
It was a car that we've had for a little bit now. It was a car that we run in speed leagues for a couple of years now, and we haven't had the new one to us out yet, but definitely after breaking, having a terrible deal at Loudon earlier this year, flipping over, and then to have that on top
scary.
of it. I mean, we haven't had bad luck in 5 or 6 years, so I guess we're due for a little bit, but man, it's a heartbreaker for sure.
That was tough. All right, so let's go on to the 14 questions. Actually, I made a number up. Anyway, what advice do you have for new drivers?
Focus on driving. Focus on being a race car driver. I think a lot of times this turns into like a hobby for people that are bored, which that's fine if that's what you want to do, but if you want to move forward on the ranks, focus on this. Spend time with your race car, clean it, work on it. Even if you don't know what you're doing, talk to someone, ask someone. I can't stress enough how much the knowing about the race car helps you as a driver. I mean, it is beyond you could ever imagine. I mean, it helps out so much.
So you work on your own car?
Yep.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Because I know nothing about it. Do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions?
We got a couple superstitions. I had one fire suit that for some reason plagued us a couple years ago. It was like silver in color, almost looked like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. And ever since I stopped using it, I never want to race in it. I don't think I ever finished a race in it. So we retired it pretty early. I said we'd send it off to the ocean, but somehow it's come back to us. No. So it's been retired, but nothing green race cars, no specific.
Right, you stay away from that?
Yeah, but nothing other than those two, really.
All right. How do you prepare mentally for a race?
Mentally, I'm a pretty calm person. Like, my nervous is calm, if that makes sense. So I get in the car, I can fall asleep. I'm not a very nervous person. And I think that helps me a lot make decisions that are not rash on the racetrack. So as far as preparation, it's more like getting myself into my mindset that I got a job to do, and I want to make sure that I do it cleanly and clearly rather than off emotion or anything else.
Okay. What are your goals for yourself and the team this year?
Just to run good. Every year for the last 6 years, we've progressively gotten better. And I'd like to continue that trend, of course. A terrible start to the year, to be honest, but hopefully we can move forward with that. And I just want to finish off a good couple wins. I'd really like to get an Oxford 250 win. I've been fighting at that for years, and I've been so close to finish second and third last year, and we've been really close. So hopefully it'll be our year, but we'll see.
how would you describe yourself in 5 words?
5 words. Describe myself. That's tough. I'd say probably driven, patient, in a race car at least. Persistent. I'd say I want a word for like willing to work through it. Not like a go-getter, but driven, I guess is that. That's hard, I don't really talk about myself that much.
That's been the stumper for the 2 people I've talked to already this year. It's supposed to be halfway through my list of 52. There. You're number 3.
You're close.
On the way. All right, this one should be easier then. What makes you smile?
Everything. Being alive, waking up every day, healthy, driving a race car.
Excellent. Have you had any strange or weird interactions with fans?
Oh yeah, like I've had fans get my address, my house address, and send me letters and stuff. And like, there's no public, like I don't know how they got it, but yeah, with pictures that want to be signed and like letters, which I'm flattered, but man, that's my house address. But yeah, there's been some awkward stuff.
What do you do in your spare time?
Not much spare time for me, but really work. I own a business back home in New Hampshire, and it takes every spare ounce of energy when racing's not taking it.
Who do you look up to for advice on either racing or even just real life situations?
There's probably a few people in my life that I look up to and consider to be role models. One is my crew chief, Louis Michelides, which racing-wise is an amazing person who's coached me through my years of racing, and my father, of course, who helps me make my life decisions, as a dad should, I guess. And he does a great job for sure.
What is the most interesting thing you have seen or read this week?
Seen or read? Well, there's all sorts of interesting things on Twitter for the last week or so I'd probably leave it at that.
Leave it at that?
Yeah.
Yeah, social media is fun.
It's awesome.
It is, but okay, after watching a race that you've competed in, what would you like people to think about you? What opinion would you like them to have?
I've always wanted people to think that, like, I've done it the right way. Like, I don't think I'd ever take a race from being one with contact, like major contact, or spinning someone out, or being a rough, being a weapon, or a hack, whatever you want to call it. I'd never want to be that. I would never. I'd lose so much hope for myself if I left the racetrack as a hack. So that's, as long as they don't think I'm a hack, I'm happy.
Excellent. What secret talent do you have?
Secret talent. Can't draw, can't play music, can't sing. Man, I can do the worm.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I sure as heck can't. I don't know. You don't want me to try. Okay. What is your favorite track food and where is it at?
I'd say probably there was a racetrack in Maine called Beach Ridge Motor Speedway. Just recently closed, but they had a couple burgers that they would make. They had different names: checkered flag, yellow flag, green flag burgers, and the checkered flag burger was fantastic.
Burgers are probably my favorite. Okay, so what is the biggest misconception you think people might have about either drivers or racing in general?
I think that they think it's a simpleton sport, and
you're turning left.
Yeah, you're just driving around in a circle, right? That's probably the most common misconception, because like, you see the amount of work that goes into a practice day, never mind race day. So that's what I'd say that's the most common misconception.
Excellent. And then where do we find you next?
From here, I think we're gonna run Spud Speedway, which is in Caribou, Maine.
Nice.
It is the most northern part of the southern 48 states, I think.
Okay.
And very interesting racetrack in the middle of a potato field, and cool little place. So we'll be there, I think, at the end of the month.
Okay. And then we already are planning on Snowball.
Yep. Definitely
Excellent.
Snowball.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right. Good luck tomorrow.